And I needed not to love money so much.
I love the way you've said it.
Yes. And remember, because of loving that convenience, loving that good life, loving that money, that's what had been detrimental in my Kenny years of bad choices. Because I didn't want to show up as a village person. I wanted to live as though I'm well-to-do. It's also that which also showed up in my higher purchase thing. So I was loving money a bit too much. That's something that God needed to deal in me.
We finished the first half of this CTA. The reason I say that is because Kendi has clearly said that her life is sort of like in two parts thus far. Life is not yet over. But the first part was up until this 25th. And then now we've just checked into the second half, where it sounds like it's a God-led life or a life in partnership with God. First and foremost, you've done a lot. For a 25-year-old. You've done a lot. You've worked in so many different places, had so many different experiences. And we're at the point of the story. I really love how you phrased this. First and foremost, you are traveling again to see, to expose yourself. Watch the previous episodes for you to understand that exposed conversation that we had, especially even for kids. But then you also said you want to have a conversation with God.
Yes.
Very interested to hear this.
So I do that.
You go to TZ?
I go to TZ.
Yes. Where in TZ? Arusha or Da?
It was random. It was there, 16 hours, because I wanted to see Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
And I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know to what. I just went. In the bus, I met this lady who I don't know was coming from where. I think she had been to Spain or something. And then something, I don't even remember. But she was Tanzanian. Then I told her, I'm just exploring. I've just left, I'm exploring. I've decided to just leave because I've never left Kenya. And she was so generous to me. She asked me, unakaa wapi? Then I told her, where had I seen even that address? I don't even know where I saw what hotel to go stay in. Then she told me, if you don't mind, I stay with my cousin. You can come and stay with us.
What?
Yes. So me, I went. I actually don't remember her name.
Do you have some white blood in you? Just the behaviors of Jugus. I just backpack. Let's go.
So I didn't even know for how long I was going. But in my mind, it was gonna be 3
weeks.
No, it was gonna be 3 weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I'm still applying for jobs, but I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm in the waiting mode. I'm like, I wait. And I go stay, they show me around, we go have, I tell, at this time I'm openly confessing that I love God. We went to like the Swahili dance place. Them, they're taking wine, me, I'm on soda, because I can't, I stopped, I've changed, I had my Bible, I went read. Then I asked them, because I needed some quiet time. Then I told them, thank you, but I need 2 days to go for quiet time. I need to spend time with God. I need to just think with God. So they showed me somewhere. I can't remember which side, but somewhere in Dar es Salaam.
Tamanga.
No, I can't remember. I don't remember right side. But in a room, I have that photo somewhere, a physical photo, somewhere. And that's where I went and stayed. We had a conversation with God. And then while I was there, I think I checked email or something. A company contacted me. One of the customers I was selling to, one of the people who was managing either MPESA, because now these are OEMs. So
what are OEMs?
Original equipment manufacturers.
Oh, phew.
So like that would be like a HP, that is one that manufactures the laptops, or Dell. One of the people who was supplying, I don't even know who they were working for. I think Siemens. When I met him, I told him the strategy for these guys is changing, and I won't continue to serve you, and I'll be looking for a job. Then he said, no problem. because the company, Siemens at the time, was also doing, it was an introductory of channel banking. So what you were saying, POS terminals, all that. That's when the channel banking was coming. You know, channel banking is anything that's outside, banking outside physically, but outside the branch.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So then he told me there's this company that is called Paynet, that is called Pesa Point, that is rolling out machines. I know the owners, I'll speak to them if they can hire you. And then, so I told him, okay, fine. So then I checked email and I realized there was an email that had come inviting me for an interview. Actually, it wasn't an interview. Asked me when can I go see them? Or when can I join an event? They were holding an event in Serena. When can I join an event in Serena? When I went so then I told them I'm currently in Tanzania, but I think the event was either 5 days out. But I can make, then I'm like, anyway, there's something.
Yes.
So I was like, then they were like, this is the event. It was a 2 weeks notice. So then that means that would cut short my trip. Because I was like, if there's a prospect here, let me go. I went for the event, and that is how Wayne Harris hired me. And that is how I joined Paynet.
Okay. Before Paynet, what did TZ do for you?
It just opened my eyes. TZ opened my eyes. I was able to see, it felt familiar because it looked more like Coast or like Mombasa. But I was able to experience a different culture. I was able to, I felt good that I had left the country and left to TZ. And yeah, I just loved that I had left beyond
the borders of Kenya.
Yes.
You know why I asked that? Because sometimes your story has been like opening up you're going exposure from seeing a better place than you are. But I like that we've talked about TZ because economically or developed, it wasn't as Nairobi. But you're still saying it had an impact on you.
Yes.
And a positive impact, that is.
It did. And just that aspect of, have you been out of the country? Yes, I've been to Tanzania. Yeah. So it helped from that aspect.
And you are brave though. You just jumped on and went. Yeah, okay. So you go back and you now join Paynet.
So now I come back in September of that same year.
Sorry for cutting you short.
No worries.
Here, there's no interview. There's no 50 people interview.
No. This is a job I've been told. This is your job.
It's now there. It's headhunting in a sense. It's just that they want to see, does she have the qualification? Can we just vibe? So it was a vibe which was going to determine when they get the job.
It was a recommendation.
Okay.
Because a person had seen me working. And they knew this person works well. So they just went. It was a transfer, and I know you love to use this, but it was a transfer of trust from Chris Busieka, and thank you, Chris, for him to vouch for me and say, this person you can hire.
Wow. That is, I wish a young person takes what you've just said.
So I went, met Wayne Harris. And because it was like an assured job, I had been very particular about what I asked for the job that I told God the job I want. I needed to be paid at least 50,000. So here's a job that's coming with what I had asked for in terms of corporate. It's more as in it's the business side of IT and all that. Then when Wayne sent the offer, he sends it and it is 40,000 shillings. And I look at this offer and I tell God, we agreed it is 50,000. Why is it 40,000? So I go to Wayne, day one of reporting, I report. I ask Wayne Harris, could we please have a conversation? I sit and I tell him, I'm really appreciative of the job. And as you can see, I have reported to work. But will you please pay me 50,000 and not 40,000 shillings? You know, I think Wayne was so shocked. He just paid me 50,000 shillings. As in my salary changed to 50,000 shillings.
You are not comfortable with what you are getting.
No. As in, I'm like, we have a deal. And you have not because you ask not.
Oh.
And the least or the worst you will get of asking is no. And 40,000 is already good. As in, I was going to work with 40,000. But I told him, I remember what I told him. I told him, you pay me 50,000. I will actually, I will not be looking for a job. I need a job. I am out of a job right now. If you pay me 40,000, you won't get my full attention. As in, it was a very open conversation. In the sense that I will work for you, but I won't give you 10. But if you help me at least be a bit more settled from a financial perspective, I will be able to settle and give my best in every bit.
Give my all for this.
Give my all.
Yes.
Without the distraction. And it's actually the distraction of I will not be distracted looking for another job, looking to move to make another small buck.
To make 50,000.
Correct.
Yes.
Because 10,000 is not little money. And with that 10,000 alone, and the reason for this actually, it's because we had done calculations. I wanted to tithe 20%. As in so there were things. There were agreements and vows we had done with God.
Did you say tithe 20%?
Correct.
Not 10?
No, but he's using me as a vessel for his kingdom. As in, that's the agreement. So if you're using me as a vessel for your kingdom, and remember, I'm coming from a place of, I really want to experience this financial thing. For lack of a better word, I want to be rich.
Yes.
But how am I rich? It's actually in spending time with him and spending time in the Word, it's when I realized I needed to die to die for that.
To be rich.
Yes. And I needed not to love money so much.
I love the way you've said it.
Yes. And remember, because of loving that convenience, loving that good life, loving that money, that's what had been detrimental in my Kendi years of bad choices. Because I didn't want to show up as a village person. I wanted to live as though I'm well-to-do. It's also that which also showed up in my higher purchase day. So I was loving money a bit too much. That's something that God needed to deal in me.
At this time, are you proud of the village?
No.
You are still...
No, I had not told anyone I'm from the village. I was still very... I was a Nairobi girl, not even Embu. And if someone asked me, where did you grow up? I would say, I grew up in Embu. In Embu town. The village never featured anywhere. Why would I say? I'm 25 for crying out loud. Why would I tell anyone I'm a villager?
Wow. Kendi, your story has too much gems. Okay. You asked. And your ask was
granted.
So what was your role now?
So now I was a business development account manager.
And in English, that means?
Meaning, I would work, because this was serving, it's channel banking, so it was serving the banks.
Okay.
So I joined the financial institution, which was also another way. You see how God works. I joined the financial institution for me to understand how the financial institution works. And so I would work with banks to help them provide services through POS terminals, to help them understand...
POS is point of sale.
Point of sale. So
the computer that the teller has, is that an example of the POS from a banking perspective?
The machine itself, just that... the portable POS.
Oh yes,
the portable one where you run your cards. Yes,
oh, yes. This is for what do you call these things? The
cards, the credit cards,
yes.
or the
debit
plastic cards.
Yeah, yes. The plastic cards.
The plastic cards.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so now you are working with banks.
Yes.
I'm getting it in my head. I was thinking POS like Bamba.
No.
That's a different version. That's for point of sale for.
Yeah, this is the POS terminal, because the terminal is where you transact.
So this is the introduction of those terminals. Before those things were not in the country.
They're not common.
So when I go to Nakumack and I'm paying with my debit card,
yes,
those
machines are the ones now scope for banks for them to increase the point where they interact with their customers, which is the channel. So the channel is how they interact with their customers without the customer coming directly into a bank.
I get it.
Hence also the ATM. So sometimes they would join the Pesa Point ATM network. And sometimes they would also want to buy their own ATM machine.
For real?
Yes. So now selling it on the ATM machine.
Okay. The banks, Kendi, this thing to use like normal, eh?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, it is. But you are also educating.
Yes.
And it's wonderful. Me, I don't pretend to act like I don't know. I know. I don't know. So, banks are trying to make it, first and foremost, let me say, this mobile apps, mobile money maybe whatever, but mobile money integrated with banks, that hasn't come into play.
No, not yet.
So the only way for you as a Kenyan to get your money is to either go to the bank
to the branch and queue.
or ATM.
Yes.
And then now there's this new thing that you're saying that is coming. So when I'm doing my shopping at Nakumat, and
you either go withdraw from an ATM, cash, or you show up with your card and pay with it directly.
Now this card thing that I'm paying to, it is Kendi's job
to position it with,
Ooh, but there's something I've heard you say. So ATMs were not, banks don't,
Pesa
Point was not just dealing in these small physical machines, but even selling ATMs.
So now Paynet, the main company was Paynet, which is now Interswitch.
Yes.
I hope it's Interswitch. That's the name. Yeah, I think it's Interswitch. The Paynet had 3 companies. Pesa Point, which was shared, as in any customer could come with a Visa card or a MasterCard, whatever card, and access money from their ATM. But it's a shared ATM. It's not owned by any bank.
Oh yes, I get.
And what was common at the time, so they did this before the time. So then there was the pride of banks saying, we've grown our ATM network from 10 to 200. So then the opportunity was that either you have many points where you can get your money as a customer, which is through, so the smaller banks could expand their reach through Pesa Point. But even the bigger banks didn't have to locate their ATMs where maybe a Pesa Point machine is. So one was a...
Were they red?
Orange and blue.
Okay.
I don't know if they still exist, but it was
yes, I know. I've seen them.
Yes.
I've seen them.
In events, if you ever went to events like the Sevens event, a machine would be taken there for people to go and withdraw money and pay for whatever they want.
Okay, yes. I've understood.
Yeah.
Now I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it was my responsibility to expand that, to work with banks to bring that on board.
Who is throughout this whole story, I've not heard you say there's somebody who is teaching you and working with you from a work perspective.
No. I'll just quickly get in and learn what I need to work.
So who's teaching you?
Wayne. I was working very closely with Wayne.
Okay.
Who was the MD for we were calling it EFT. I forget what EFT was in big. But the EFT is the one who was now selling the hardware. So I joined the hardware side of the business, which is the one for selling physical, the terminal, the POS terminal, and then selling the ATM physically.
I get it.
Yes.
Wow. How was that for you? Now you interact in the financial sector.
In the financial sector, people we can engage corporate speak. As in, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. This is it. As in the one for, I can bring my technical knowledge to have that conversation. I can go pitch to IT managers. I can, it was amazing. As in, I told God, thank you. As in, thank you. I loved it. Then it's paying me
50 G's.
It's paying me 50,000. As in, I'm rich, and I'm still paying 5K for, as in my portion of the house.
Yes.
Yeah. Then we moved. Actually, no, but we moved, but increased the rent a bit. But still, it was good. We were doing so well that end of 2006, my roommate Anne and myself, we decided, why don't we take a road trip to South Africa?
What?
Yes.
TZ now is too close.
Now what is TZ? Yes. What is TZ now? TZ is too small.
East, we're not west.
No, let's explore.
What road trip? I'm trying to figure out what is it in your brain that is making you do this? Like, what is it about you that is wanting to see? First of all, you're saying road trip. You're not saying...
No, we can't. The flight is expensive. Road trip at the time was 21,000.
You're going by all means.
Yes. And we make it fun.
Wow.
Yeah, we make it fun. So, took the...
this is before this visa-free South Africa.
But you see now we have strong pay slips. As in, I'm being paid 50,000. That's all they need to see. And I have a job with a company that's known. It's a brand that's known. So all I needed is a letter from the employer showing how much I'm being paid. Then I went for a visa. They gave us 1 month entry. We showed the itinerary of what there is, and we got the visa.
Why did you go Cape Town?
No, we couldn't go. No, it would have been too far.
Yeah, Joburg.
Yeah, I went to Joburg.
But what did that do for you, though? Joburg is on steroids.
Yes. I was like, wow,
Forget this Nairobi.
Yes, the everything, the road network, the everything, the malls at the time, Santon, yes, the Santon, then the one with fake sand.
Yes, Sun City.
Sun City.
Yeah.
Went to the Gold Reef, whatever.
Hey, you guys were exploring.
Yes, we lived. Went
Without
for
the wine or
shopping.
alcohol.
No, without that. Went for shopping. Yes.
Nice.
It was so much fun.
I can imagine. Yeah,
It was so much fun. So we did that 2006.
26.
Yes, 2006 for the Christmas. So we went December. And Wayne was from South Africa. So when I told him, he was so happy. He was like, oh yeah, do. Then came back in January 2007.
Has your pay slip increased at this time?
No,
It's still 50.
It's still 50K.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still 50K. But I'm fine because I was actually okay because it was okay. As in it was enough.
Yes.
Yeah. And the job was good. It was challenging. Now I'm meeting more professional colleagues. And in Paynet, I met 2 people very critical in my life. I met a bigger sister. She realized how hungry I was for God. And she held my hand. And that sister is the late Helima Moshiri.
Oh.